Welcome to the Trading Lounge, where I try to take $1,000 to $100,000. I've been saying as fast as possible lately, but maybe it should be as efficient or as smart as possible, because speed might not be the golden ticket. But needless to say, I'd like to share with you guys a couple of trades that that I didn't make today. I have a no trade day today, not because I didn't want to trade, not because I was scared, or timid, or anything like that. I just wanted a very specific setup this morning. I didn't see it. I did see some stocks pass me by, and we will go over those. There was maybe one opportunity in there that I think I could have made a trade. And I think I would have on Thinkorswim, but I'm not quite ready to make that quick of a transaction. In Webull, I don't know. But let's go over a couple of things that have been happening over the weekend here. We had a really rough last couple of weeks. The market is obviously slow, and I think it's important to note that you want to be involved in a community of some kind, because being a new day trader, I wouldn't even know really if the market's slow. Like, I don't really have anything that's going to tell me that it's slow. The stocks are still popping up. Things are still happening, but they're getting shorted really fast, or it's a quick pump and dump, and you see things, and now I'm starting to see them. I'm starting to kind of understanding. I mean, as I'm listening to people who have been trading a long time in my Discord, in the Warrior Trader kind of chat, and on YouTube, and just kind of like, now I'm understanding, okay, it is slow. So this can be a very siloed community. It's one of the benefits of having the YouTube channel here is I get to have conversation with people. But I mean, if you're new to day trading, it's important to recognize when it's slow, because you can blow up an account really, really fast. And I'm kind of lucky that I started this process last month, or in December, when things were a little hotter, and probably would be a lot lower. So let's quickly go over the data to see like what's going on. We started off with $1,000 back in December. We doubled that money really fast, and at least in my opinion. And so we're like, okay, let's put another $1,200 in the account. So we put $1,200 in the account. I think we pushed up towards close to 4K. At some point, I think we were up like $1,800 or somewhere along those lines. I can't remember, because it feels like so long ago, only 2 weeks ago. But now we're showing a profit of $789. We've participated in 37 trade days. We have 38 winning trades for a win percentage of 73%. The issue here is, thankfully, we're still green. We still got a profit. But the issue here is that I have not been getting out of my stop losses, and I've been letting things run too far. All the things you shouldn't be doing in day trading. And I'm going through it. I'm going through a drawdown. I'm learning how to get through it. I'm trying to make sure I don't blow up my account, so I can keep this thing going, because I do want to do this long term, right? And so there's been a couple things that have helped me. We'll go back to communities, and I think it's important. Find yourself a community. I am a part of a Discord. It's daytradingstrategies.net. It's not free. It comes with a package of certain things. You can take a look at there and see if it's something that you like. But I think there's like 4,000 people in here, and it's been a blessing to be a part of that group, because I think his name is Trey that put it on, and but he's not active in there at like a crazy amount of time, but there's a lot of people who are active in there, and it's just been super helpful. One of the things I want to point out, I want to give a little shout out to Trader Joe, who's been messaging me quite a bit in Discord, and kind of helped me through this 2 weeks rut that I've been in. And a video that he sent me, I'm going to pull it down actually, and I'll send a link to this video. Wow, they just disappeared on me. Sick. There it goes. Will this work today? Let me see. Okay, my pin tool is decided that it wants to kind of do its thing. Let's make sure we got it set right. You guys will kind of see now how I set this up. I think this one goes here and this one goes here. We'll minimize that. Now we have our drawing tools. Yeah, we'll move this over. Beautiful. Anyway, so right here he says, well, I mean, come on, bruh. Okay, there we go. He says, watch this video last night. It was pretty good. If you have a small account, watch this video. It says, really resonated with me when we talked about getting your nervous system involved. So I'm like, okay, sure, no problem. I listened to this video, and it talks a lot about when you like getting ready to enter a trade, or you're in a trade, and like how kind of nervous you can feel, and like if your heart is pounding, and like there's a lot going on emotionally, and kind of fight or flight kind of takes over. Maybe you're in it for the wrong reasons, or your position size is too high, you're in too much money in the trade. I'm like, this is kind of, I've definitely seen, I don't know what that beep was, I'll fix that later, but I've definitely seen that's the Momo scanner. Let me mute that real quick. I'll leave it up. I've definitely witnessed where like my heart will be pounding on certain trades, but not on some trades. And I think it does have to do with some position size. And as I started losing a little bit, like, oh man, I'm losing a little bit of money, and then I don't know. So I decided that I was going to reduce my position size today. Unfortunately, I haven't made a trade, but this week I'm going to start with I'm just going to do $500 chunks. So every trade, unless I'm really see something where I hit the button a few times, but I'm just going to go with $500 and see how it goes and come out, But the video was really, really well, and I'll definitely link that for you guys here. I'm getting a little distracted by the sound. I'm going to pull the scanner down real quick because I want to show you guys, my setup for today. So right now you see this Webull setup. We're just working off one stock today. Because I've been focusing on two stocks, but I just wanted to move to one stock just to really focus to try to get back in the green over the next couple weeks or something. But a couple things that have kind of helped me. So I'm going to bring this down, and this is a gauge, a small cap gauge that is provided by a new scanner that Trey provided over at Daytrade. What is it? DayTradeStrategies.net. And it kind of tells you like how hot and cold the market is. Now, it's proprietary. I asked him, because I have a hard time with these things because I don't really know what's moving the gauge. But I've been watching this now, and I for a few weeks, and I do think it's probably pretty accurate. I haven't seen it in the hot market yet. I look forward to seeing that. But so this, I think, I'm not fully ready to commit to it yet, but I think this can help me determine if the market's a little cold for small caps, in conjunction with just Discord. And then also, so I wanted to show you guys that this was my setup today. I had that the Webull in here, and then I also had this little this little guy right here, which is telling me if the market is hot or cold. And then I have this Momo screener scanner that's free. And the reason why I like this scanner is because I like running it at the same time as my Warrior Trader scanner, because it picks things up sometimes a little bit sooner, because it's catching things a little bit earlier in the run. They might not be hot enough to trade yet, though. So you get a little bit of an alert, you punch it in, you kind of look and you wait, and then all of a sudden, maybe a minute later, 2 minutes later, whenever, all of a sudden, boom, Warrior Trader picks it up, and it's like bing, 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 but you already have it up because you caught it a tad bit sooner. I have noticed that at times. And then I also, I'll minimize those. Actually, I'll turn this off so that way you don't hear the sound anymore. Where is it? Right there. Yeah. And then I also been using these scanners here from Warrior Trading. And this, oh God, yeah. Okay. This community right here, there's a chat here, and this is, the certain things, call outs and a few other things, but you can get market sentiment from here. I mean, people are talking about how cold the market is, how slow the market is. I mean, and so as a new trader, I really have no choice but to really believe what these people are saying. I think when people were first saying it was slow, I'm like, okay, it's slow, but like, it's not really going to stop me from doing my thing. Like I'll be fine, but I'm not fine. We were far from fine. So we got to try to get back on the guardrails here. So, and then the scanner also has small cap high day momentum, a running up scanner, some news, a news widget, low float top gainers, and a whole other slew of things over here. This is not free. There's a 2-week trial. You can become a member as well. But I use this scanner every day, and it has helped me be green, fairly profitable in my opinion. The first month we were doing this, and then not the scanner's fault that I have messed up over the last couple weeks, and we'll talk about that. But we talked about that in the last video. But that's what I've been using, and so this scanner pulled up all three of these stocks I'm about to show you today. So we have a no trade day, and over the weekend I finished this book. All right here, How to Day Trade: The Plain Truth. Ross Cameron. Everyone's gonna hate on me for this because for some reason people don't like Ross Cameron. I don't really understand why. Sure, he had his lawsuit or whatever. I get it. I've read up on it. Whatever. Like I'm over it. But like, He's taught me a lot of stuff. Same with all the guys in my Discord who don't trade this way. Like, I'm just learning so much. And this book is really, really, really good. I mean, now here's the thing. This section right here, this whole fat half of this, I marked it off, one sec. This section right here, this fat part right here is fatter than this bottom part. This fat part is pretty much all about risk management. Not about strategically how to read candles. And I'm like, yo, this is deep. Now, there is a portion of the book I haven't read. He goes into some interviews. I'll read that next. But for the most part, I'm done with the book. But I took some notes over the weekend. Right here. I want to show those to you guys here. It talks about how much is in my account. It shows how much I want for my hotkey. It's got, what my profit target is, what my max loss is. It's got all my information in here that I want to use this week. And so I just kind of changed my thought process in conjunction with, just trading on lower size because of what Trader Joe was telling me and the video he sent me. And then also his book talks about that quite a bit too, like trading lower size. And he talks about how if the book talks about if you have a profit target of say like $100, then like if you lose $100, get out of there. So I'm like, I haven't really thought about like that way. And so, I was like, I'll set up a profit target, a profit target for $100. And then if I lose $100, I'm out of there for the day. I'll just shut it off. Will I do that? We'll see. But that's what I marked off. My hope is that I would. And then I redefined my risk, 5 cents to make 10 cents. And in order to do that, I probably got to stay underneath like $6 stocks, because if you go higher than $10, I mean, it'd be really hard to get to just like risk 5 cents or even risk $100. So what this does is help me break up my account. So I have $3,000 in there ish. It's like 290 something, and or 2,900 something. It made it so that way I was like, if I'm going to do $500 at a time, my max risk is $15. I kind of like that. I'm still going 5 cents for 10 cents. And then in many cases, that 5 cents will be less than the $15. But I just know, like every time I hit that button, my max loss is $15. Now, I don't want to cap my profits, but I have a profit target, but I want to make sure to let that run. And I think I'm prepared to be able to start doing that. So the book helped me do that. That was the thing today. And then this morning, I did my typical thing where I write down all my stuff. So I'm like, okay, this is my risk reward, my account max, my account max loss, my per trade loss, excuse my handwriting, and then my profit target. So this is kind of had me ready to go. And then the next thing was like, okay, what pattern are we going to be looking for? Well, when I started this thing, I'm going to pull this over. When I started this thing, I'll pull this over here real quick. The pattern that I was using was a fairly simple kind of like 1 minute micro pullback pattern. And this guy here on my video where I talk about losing $250 in Webull, this was last week, and we've been going downhill. Tick Winkler 123 says, Jesse, you have been a game changer for me with your original strategy. All in for that quick 10-second pull. Go back to your second video, day 2, trading a $1,000 account, and at 2:45, I've been following that 1 minute chart. I call it the 1 minute red candle reclaim strat. Anyway, it works well, like 90% success rate, gives a clear stop loss, just like you've marked on that chart. And he talks about a few other things. And this really resonated with me. I went back and looked at the video, and it was clear. The stocks, I was taking far less risk. The stock prices were a little smaller, and I'm just trying to make the 10 cents, and I just would get out. And if it fell under 5 cents, I would get out. And we got to kind of get back to that. So that's what I was thinking about today when I was looking at these stocks. I was looking for I wanted it to be on 1 minute candle. I wanted a 1 minute candle pullback. And so as we take a look at these today, the first stock, OBAI, hit the scanner. When was this? Oh, see? I love these charts. There we go. Back in here, I think. Yeah, right. Oh, I wrote it down. Sorry. It was at 540. So more this way. I looked better on the chart over here. Yeah. So this is 540. Yeah. Right here. So this stock hits the scanner. And this was an opportunity that I thought maybe I could have taken. But initially pulls up. Let me pull up the 10-second chart too. Right in here. Yeah, just like it's just 540. So you kind of see like this kind of thing comes up, dumps, kind of does its thing, dumps. I just like finally get a little bit of action here. But so it climbs up here. There's not a ton of volume happening here, right? And so you get the alert up in here. We have this little pullback here, and technically speaking, I probably could have made an entry right here at about 229, and once this candle rose above this one and got out, but the thing is, it wasn't even going to be a 10-cent profit. Now, if I'd held my stop loss, kept my stop loss, maybe I would have went on this one and then went up and got my 10-cent profit, but it just wasn't really what I was after. And the float was great, and I can't remember if it had breaking news. Let's take a look over here real quick if it had breaking news. OB, because that plays a key part in it too. Yes, it did have breaking news. So this is one I saw, and I just wasn't sure if I could get my full 10 cents out of it. I ended up not trading it, and I'm okay with that. But looking back, I do think like we could have maybe made something happen here. And then FBIO was another one that came across the scanner, and that was at 547 this morning. And I mean, you can see why I didn't get into this one. So, let's see here. Go over here. Yes. So, I mean, this little 10-second chart looks really nice, but I'm waiting for 1 minute candle pullbacks. I'm just committed to that. The next stock, Allure, I was one of the first ones I saw where I'm like, I maybe could have done a 10-second candle, but so this thing shoots up really fast. I'm like, ooh, I want to get in. Let's see. The float's a little high. It's 24 million on Warrior Trader. It was showing a little bit less float. I do believe FBO is probably still on the list. And so I think I was Webull was showing a little bit higher flow. By the way, let me unlock the trading here so that way no one thinks I'm trying to hide anything. I lock the trade so that way I don't accidentally make a trade. Or like if a market's really slow, it keeps me from. It's one extra step for me to like if I deciding that I want to kind of hold off. Anyway, so yeah, the thing climbs up and immediately just comes right back down. And then from that point, it's really not really trustworthy to me. It did make a couple moves actually. Kind of consolidated in this area around above this 9 EMA, and kind of comes back, consolidates here, comes down. Once it crosses the 9 EMA, it goes back up. There's some opportunities here to make some money, but I just really couldn't. I didn't feel like I could trust the stock at that point. And I'm trying to trade that initial breaking news, and that's over at that point. So, and then the other one that hit the scanner was ALUR, and this one here. You can see ran up real fast and then just came back down. Now, this is the one I was saying where I think on the 10-second chart, oops, let's just go back so I can reset this. 1 second while I take there we go. So yeah. So when I pulled this up, I saw this initial run up here because I think it showed up on the Moomoo scanner first. So I had it up. And I was kind of watching this candle, and I was looking to see if there's any news, and I was watching the level 2. And as I was watching this 1 minute candle, and as this candle, as I was watching it, I saw this happen, this rip right here. So this is a 10-second candle. So this first 10-second candle goes. There's this nice little pullback right here. I mean, this is kind of, I wouldn't call it picture perfect because the volume on this candle is really not that great. So you would love to see more volume down here. And then as this pulls back, these are less volume than the initial green volume. But, and needless to say, I was marking this off. I was looking at this and be like, okay, if this goes over 150 on the 1 minute candle is what I was thinking, then it has a chance to, maybe it does what you see here. It goes up. And so the 10-second candle goes above 150. It was really, really fast and hits 222 and flushes. And I'm like, well, you know what? I mean, I feel like I could have probably got in right there. And on Thinkorswim, I think I would have because I'm just was really good at rolling my fingers over for like a 5-second trade. But on Webull, sometimes it can take a split second longer than my brain wants for a trade to show up in this section right here. So you can kind of see and in here to see what you got in at, what you got filled at, and then I'm like kind of waiting for a split second, and then in that time the 10-second candle rises up, and then I've got to quickly look and see what my profit is and get out. I haven't quite feel comfortable enough yet to do it aggressively in Webull. But those are the 3 stocks that I traded, and I really just wanted to share with you guys the fact that I think it's important to be a part of a community so that you can understand when things are slow. I'm in multiple communities, and there are certainly some accounts being blown up over the last couple of weeks. I feel very grateful that mine hasn't been blown up. Some folks lost some pretty good money on Allure today. I saw that in the small cap channel here, right here on this move, and I could see how it could happen. I mean, you see this section right here, and you might have tried to get in somewhere in here, and you get this little pullback right in here, and then this one opens, and I don't know, man. Like, oh, it's pulling back maybe, and then you try to get in here. There's some people who lost some money on this bad boy today, and I feel I'm sorry if you're one of those folks, and it would have been a really hard trade to make, and it's one that I was thinking about making as well. So I totally understand what you're going through, but yeah, get yourself to be a part of a community, whether that's following me here on YouTube, because I'm learning as well, and I'm literally telling you the market's slow. And then make sure that your losses are not so big that you have time that, I have time to learn and recover and talk to people. And, it's talked about in Ross's book, and it's talked about in the communities, that I have to figure out how to get through and successfully my first drawdown. Like, how can we get through it, recover from it, learn from it, and move on? That's going to be the key to success. And I think we're on the right path. I'm going to try to make a trade today at 1 p.m. If I do, I will update you guys tomorrow. Other than that, I hope you guys have a really wonderful day. Cheers.